What should we call this first episode?
That's a good
Kenku
question.
Kung Fu.
Ah, I like it.
I'm the best. Kenku Kung. I like how the Kung Fu is like such a racist term.
It really is. 'Cause it's such a catch-all. It's used
well,
for
it's
like
not
everything.
like the word they use for it in China is gong fu,
Yeah.
which is like a martial arts.
Yeah, well, I mean, same with like Genghis Khan. You should see how they spell and pronounce Genghis. It's more like Chinggis.
Chinggis
Yeah.
in China or
In
Mongolia?
China, Mongolia, and I'm trying to remember where the Genghis Khan International Airport, or I think it's international. But yeah, it's an airport named after him, and it's spelled traditionally like Chingess.
Stuff like that is so weird to me. Like Japan is Nihon.
Nihon or Nippon? Depends.
Nippon or Nihon,
Right?
right? So like, why do we call it Japan when everyone over there calls it something
Right.
completely different? Or Germany, which is Deutschland.
Deutschland, Germany's okay by them. Much of Europe calls them Alamein.
But why? Why don't you just call it what they...
Something, yeah.
It's like your name is Neil, but I'm going to call you Stupid Face
Well,
because that's
because that's
what
what
I was told.
Part of it is because when they first encounter the people is when they're named typically, and because of what happened through history, the names were different at the time anyway. So
Yeah.
like Alamein is a reference to, what is it?
To the horrible Roman Empire that attacked them and took them over.
There might
basically.
actually have been
That was the name of the
general.
general, and they're like, to honor this general.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the Romans took over like friggin' everything, so they got all the way
Yeah,
into
pretty
the
much.
UK even. Like half the city names in the UK are based off of old Roman names, as far as I know. Londinium,
Yeah.
that's what London used to be called.
Britannia.
Yeah. So I'm sure it has something to do with previous conflict, borders, peoples. But yeah, Japan. I don't know where Japan comes from.
Like,
I'm sure Nihon and Nippon have meanings to them.
yeah.
There's something that I don't know, but it probably means something. But I mean, Ni on its own means two. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Nihon and Nippon has anything to do with the number two.
Maybe it meant like two cities.
Could have been. Could have been Edo and
Osaka.
probably Osaka. What was the other one? Tokyo became, or Edo became Tokyo, I think.
And then, what was the other one? The merchant city that everyone hates.
Yeah.
But is actually awesome.
God. I can't even remember anymore. It's been too long. Gotta do some more studying in Japanese.
Or just not and assume.
But Japan is amazing.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's a lot of racism problems I hear still, but there's just so many cool things about their culture that, like, I want to learn about that.
Nice. Well, good for you, Neil.
It's like, yeah, I get it, everything in Japan is amazing. Japan's not the best country on earth, blah, 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 blah. All the people who, like, bag on those who are obsessed with Japan. Sorry, Japan has a bunch of cool stuff. Like,
It does. True story. I think that because me personally, like you and I both had, like, we were in the middle of the anime craze when we were in high school.
yeah.
Right, like, right.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
But yeah, we really
There's
were.
about a 40-second delay on that thing.
Only 4 seconds. That's not that bad.
Wow.
The time between hearing Kayla's crying carried off to his room and then
Just see
watching
me out.
Sarah pick up Kayla.
That's funny.
Could hear the difference. Other than that, it really brings up how much the carpet kills the sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Good.
Except for anything on the floors or the walls.
Yeah, anything directly rooted vibrates right through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Pro Duelist. Howdy. You like to play a guest character, Mike?
Good.
Actually, I can print it out anyway. There we go. We've been having a enough PHPs for everyone.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider I have one in my laptop.
Mhm.
Is the bottom half of the scratching post like a carpet?
Yeah. We just ripped these insurance.
The other thing that's interesting is feeling each bit of temperature change as you go up each individual step.
Yeah.
It reminds me of why I love the basement.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I checked, my room would be 23 degrees.
Okay, here's your character. But we need to go into the other room to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Neil can explain his character to everyone
Oh.
who's not watching.
Yeah. Role playing a Kenku.
It tells you how many people are
Project
watching.
Neil.
Project, yeah, okay.
Yeah, usually you can see.
Alright, so if you're let's see, role playing a Kenku. If you're playing a Kenku, constant attempts to mimic noises could become irritating or come across as confusing rather than entertaining. Makes sense. You can just as easily describe the sounds your character makes and what they mean. Be clear about your intentions unless you're deliberately trying to be inscrutable or mysterious. Okay, creating a vocabulary of noises for the other players to decode might be interesting, but could be distracting. Yeah. That is a good point. I mean, isn't that... Although that seems to me to be part of the fun of playing this character is that people don't have a clue what's going on. Kenku lack creativity and function comfortably as minions. That makes sense. They cannot improvise, cannot create new sounds. Wow, it's almost like a list of restrictions on this racial list. They can copy with exceptional skill. A forger would be a cool one. I think I'll just, forge this jewelry and sell it for $1 million gold, and bye-bye. Kenku typically live in flocks. They have a talent for learning. They cannot alter a plan or improvise. Okay, so it looks like my guy might have had a job as some sort of messenger or lookout or a spy of some kind. What? Hi, Spectre. Are you being cute? Come on. Say hi. Meow. You're a big baby. I know. I can't help myself. There's a really cute kitty right here. He's a big sucky. Yeah, you purring your head off? Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, you're super cute. I know. You're a big son. Big baby kitty. Right. Kenku traits. Dex and whiz bonuses, yep. Age. Kenku have shorter lifespans than humans. Reach maturity at about 12 and can live to 60. Okay. Kenku are chaotic. They rarely make enduring commitments, and they care mostly for preserving their own hides. Yeah, that's fine. Expert forgery is a skill. Advantage on all checks to produce forgery or duplicate. Okay, here's what I was looking for. Proficiency, Kenku training, skills, acrobatics, deception, stealth, and sleight of hand. And we have from Outlander, athletics and survival. So, two. Pick two, huh? Acrobatics, deception, stealth, flight. So, do I go athletics and acrobatics? No. Deception's not going to be much good without a charisma bonus. Stealth and sleight of hand. Stealth was dex based, and so is sleight of hand those. Okay, so stealth for sure. Let's see. Sleight of hand too. Could be interesting to have a person who's not interested in theft at all with the skills of a thief. Yeah. Big tough tomcat just wants cuddles and sucky nubbins. Big tough tomcat. Yeah. So tough. You're a cream puff. Yeah. Right. Speed 30. Current HP is 8 is the die, so 8 plus con for first level, 9 HP. Doesn't seem like a lot, does it? Well, it's not. 1d8 is the hit die. Let's see. Weapons was quarterstaff. Wow, I write way too big. Let's try that again. Oh boy. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. I cannot write small. This is ridiculous. Of course, I've never been able to write small. Try this again.
Medium or large?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was large.
Here we go. Attack bonus on quarterstaff.
I think all three of those
Efficiency
are kind of grouped into that category. And even though I like picked the smallest of all of them, it's still like in that category.
Okay. Quarterstaff is typically a strength weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
But monks use... Okay, so I know
If
I
it
use...
says finesse.
Yeah, then you can use dex or strength, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says monks can always use dex, even on typically strength weapons, but I can't remember if it was only for it to hit or if it comes damage as well.
I
It
would
should be
lean
both.
towards it would be always both.
Okay.
That's kind of the way 5e's set up.
Yeah,
Always.
okay. Alright,
Whatever's convenient, that's how 5e is. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
Dave really did.
Neil,
Yes?
you need to move
Oh,
here.
okay.
And then Mike, you'll need to move where Neil is. You could be in the dip, but not much further than that.
How many Z's in Grizzly?
2.
Hi, Diana.
Ooh, hi Diana.
Are you excited? Did Neil tell you all about his awesome character?
A little bit. See, I didn't really talk about my character so much as the Kenku while I was going over
okay.
it. But
So you're just reading then?
a little bit. I was going to go into it after, but I started filling in more. I have a hard time balancing back and forth between doing what I'm supposed to do and entertaining.
Nice. Okay, you can move a little bit more to the corner.
A little bit.
And Mike, just squeeze in a little bit there. There, we're good. I think that's good. You can see your faces up there.
Excellent.
The right outside.
You were talking to the cat the whole time, you liar.
I was not talking to the cat.
You were talking more, not really, more like talking to the cat.
I was talking to the cat a little bit, but I was doing my thing. Hey, you can't resist the cute cat. Come on.
I guess. Okay, so we're not going to be introduced to the character that Mike is playing right away. Neil kind of introduced his character, so we're going to start out with him when he finishes his character. Yeah, and we do have enough PHPs, amazingly, for everyone, for once. We have 3 PHPs.
What with the whopping 3 people?
Yep.
Okay, got that. And tools. Musical instruments.
And just remember, when you guys talk, even if you're talking to someone else, project towards the camera, please.
Yeah.
Because that's where the microphone is.
Oh my god, it's a green Pepsi.
Brain Pepsi?
Green Pepsi.
Oh. I thought it made me smarter. No, I'm just smart for drinking it, see? Man.
That's right, that's sugar.
You ready, Neil?
No.
Trying to get everything sorted here. What do we got? So it's
Okay, so you've talked about what the Kenku are. Now, what about your specific? Where are you in society? As a Kenku?
So as an outlander, he would probably
What's
take up
a-
residence.
BMMG bonus?
Where?
The first range.
Oh, it should be DMG.
Okay.
Ah,
Not to be
that
confused
would
with
make
DMV.
sense.
Yeah, right. My bad. Or my typo.
So okay.
So
as
it's not automatic?
as an outlander,
No, you have to go into a rage to get that bonus.
he would have taken up a residence on the outskirts of nearby a medium to large size city.
Okay, what type of city?
Let me see. It would have needed to be something heavy commerce for him to thrive. So, because as a mimic and being unable to create new things himself, he would have had to have somebody he could learn any sort of commerce or anything from.
Okay.
Because as far as I can tell, he wouldn't have been in civilization for most of his life beforehand, until leading up to his religious experience and then departure from the church.
Okay. So what did you start out doing when you got into this city?
He would have been likely a messenger.
And you left your original village. Now, how old were you
How old
when you left?
Um,
Because your character has a wife and child.
yeah, he would have been, as he left his original flock, he would have been probably just hitting maturity. So he would have been about 12.
And that's essentially R18 or 20 or around there.
Yep.
Or 16, depending on how, or 13. You know,
Depending on the culture, right? Yeah.
If you're in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah.
12.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Okay. So you left when you were 16, or 12?
12. Yeah.
And so you had a family at that point.
He wouldn't. Oh, geez, he would have had to have taken a wife unless he wanted to return, which he didn't. So at that point, I would assume, yeah, he probably would have offered, "Hey, you want to come with me?
Okay,
I'm
so
leaving."
You took your family with you when you moved to the outskirts of a city. Maybe you didn't have a child at this point.
That was what I was thinking. Is they would have been there for a decent little while, a few years, maybe before all of it went nuts. Because the issue is this area, because it's high traffic, it has plenty of bandits, and since they don't get a lot of protection from the nearby towns, since they're kind of freaks in the eyes of the average person,
Okay.
they get abused by bandits quite often, and that's what drives my character to join the disciples of Tyr, I guess I'll call them. To become a worshipper of Tyr. He was sick of being abused.
So you want to dispense some justice.
He wanted to, yeah,
Preferably with the feathers.
right?
Feathered fists.
Yeah.
Tickle justice.
Tickle justice, yeah.
Try this! 10-tongue tickle fist! No? Okay.
Tickle.
So you moved to the city with your wife. Now, do you learn a trade there or anything?
For that one, that could be possible. It might have been that he learned to scribe, because he likely would have stuck with his job as a messenger, because it's a really simple, easy, steady job.
Okay.
And Kenku make great messengers since they can mimic literally.
Yeah. And like literally voice and everything.
Yeah.
So,
So you know that's the
it's
person
like
you're
the
getting a message
guarantee,
from.
right?
Yeah. That's exactly it. So yeah, he probably would have stuck as a town messenger for as long as possible.
Okay, and did you have a child, I guess, like, maybe like a year after that, or very shortly after getting to the town? You were like, hey, I can actually make a living here.
Yeah,
and
once
not
he
be murdered by
realized-
bandits.
Yeah, once he realized he could at least make a living, he
So you had,
decided, yep, kids.
had a child while you were a messenger.
Yeah.
And what's your wife and daughter's name?
So the wife, what was her name? Ting Ting?
That's your
That
daughter.
was, that was my daughter. Okay,
Ting is the daughter.
Ting is the daughter.
So did you explain about
Melody,
the Kenku?
that was it.
Melody. Okay, so just a brief explanation of Kenku names, if you will.
Yeah, so okay, I don't have it open to it, but I
Oh my
remember
gosh,
it.
you don't
Basically,
read it, you gotta
no, don't
remember
read
this
anything
stuff.
else. I do remember some of it is that basically they name themselves after common phrases or sounds they'll repeat. Like, basically they find a way to identify themselves with something they've heard, and so you might have one who uses the sound of a sword coming out of its sheath as his name.
So that would be like a fighter or a bandit whose name was that. It would be like Shing.
Yeah,
Shink.
his name would be like Shink Shink. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
the sound he makes turned into a name.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your character's name?
My character's name is Duran. It's the sound of a bell.
And also...
Kind of a bell goes Duran.
French one.
Drum,
Duran, Duran. That's the French word for ring, ring.
Drum.
Yeah, so I mean, like...
They're automata pita.
yeah, this is a little weird.
Okay, so how do you spell that?
Duran. The actual French is spelled without the U, but I thought, you know,
whatever.
Duran Duran.
Drum, drum. Almost sounds like a gong. Okay,
Yeah.
So your wife's name?
Melody. Because she just loves to sing. Pretty bird noises and everything were the first and most things she does.
And your daughter's name?
Ting, or Ting Ting. Because she makes the sound of fancy jewelry clinking together. I guess she must have saw something that was pretty.
You know, because birds love shiny things, right? Basically.
Right?
Yeah, racist. Yeah, racist. You give her like a racist Asian name because your character is like a monk, and also a racist bird name. Birds love pretty things, right? She loves the sound of gold,
Oh, that's
like
great.
jewels. Okay, no, but seriously, good job.
Race relations must get really complex in this part.
Yeah, right. No, just in my head.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so eventually you join the church. Now, was there a specific event that, because you know your character's making a good living off of being a messenger, so why did he decide to join the church, especially like a church of Tyr? Like there must have been something that happened.
What happened is that, you know, as a Kenku, he was likely used to being a little abused by the average
Bullied.
person, bullied, picked on, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, he could deal with a bandit attack here and there. He could deal with them taking some stuff they don't really need. Nobody,
Or even like
cares.
townspeople, or like
Yeah.
gangs in the town, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, villagers probably don't treat him particularly well. Even the average person probably doesn't give him a second glance.
Okay.
And so the precipitating fact was when he was off on a messenger mission one day, his family was attacked while he wasn't home, and that was effing it. Like, he was sick and tired of, you can pick on me, but you touch my family, and something's going to happen. So he went to the place that sounded the most logical to him was people who dispense justice in the name of God. So.
Now, what happened to your family? They're still kicking around?
They're still alive. The child wasn't particularly hurt, you know, just scared. The wife was beaten pretty badly. Like, they beat the crap out of her, and that drove him over the edge. He figured without a flock, there wasn't really any way he could just take direct revenge, so he was
he
like...
doesn't have contacts. So you're like, I have to empower myself.
Yeah.
Now, did you bring your family with you to the church, or did they stay in the city? Like, they probably had jobs in the city.
Yeah, I brought them with me to the church, and I asked them for asylum for them if I were to become an acolyte.
And were they given asylum?
Yes. they said regardless of whether I became an acolyte or not, they'd help.
Okay, now how long did you spend in service learning your martial arts skills to become a monk with the church?
As an expert mimic, I could expect it to not take horribly long to become proficient, so I'd say 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 2.5 years later, you finish your training. Now, is there any special event that happens after that? Anything specific? Like you just finished your training.
At a certain point, he comes to realize it wouldn't be even long after his training. He would have been thinking about it while training. He realizes that despite their good intentions, the church is filled with bureaucracy. It's a bunch of lawmakers and just a bunch of people speaking out of their asses.
Well, I mean, and maybe they're even more focused about outside threats rather than internal threats. They're not as much worried about the gang inside the town that's taking money from people.
Then they can control.
It's the orcs and the goblins and the kobolds and everything outside of town that can literally just wipe the town out. A horde of orcs shows up and they murder everyone in the town.
Yeah.
Kill 100 people. So maybe they're more worried about that and less worried about policing internally in society.
Their view as a church has become a little too global. The whole point is they'll dispense justice to anyone, anywhere. But it's when you start thinking globally like that, you lose power locally. So the little things are starting to go by the wayside. Theft isn't considered that important.
Like even in the church, was the church corrupt to some extent?
Not even necessarily corrupt, just so steeped in red tape.
Okay, so it was either we can't do anything about this or this is beneath us?
That, part of that, and the other one, if they do something, it just takes so long to see such a little effect. They're in it for the long haul. They've been around for eons, but it doesn't help right now.
Now, did your character ever get in trouble for cutting through this red tape, for going outside the lines that you're supposed to go on, or maybe disappointing the church in some way or another?
No, I think what actually happened ultimately is that he just started getting really depressed. Like, he's gone from one bad situation to another, nothing seems to be happening, and he's just despondent at this point. That eventually is what leads him to leave the church. Is that, I've done this, it didn't work. I've done this, it didn't work. Nothing works, I'm done.
All right, now you leave the church. Now, does that mean you return to your job as a messenger? That might be a little beneath a monk trained to essentially beat up and kill people in the name of his god.
Right.
So I wonder, you leave the church, you don't go back to your job.
No,
So
I wouldn't care.
What do you do?
At that point, he might begin wandering in order to search out things he can solve himself on that low level, that local level that he has some control over.
So wandering in the city or outside the city?
He would have probably left the area, maybe not gone too horribly far, but he would have tried to distance himself a little while he figures himself out.
Okay, now your wife and child. You've got a wife and child. Are they still in the care of the church? Did you leave them behind? Did you take them with you?
I left them behind. I believe they're still in the care of the church. I don't think they would have any reason to necessarily boot them because I'd left or anything. They just might not have the same protections or what's the word I'm looking for? Boons. They might not be getting more assistance.
Okay,
from the
so
church
you don't necessarily know what's happened to them, but you've left them.
Yeah. Now, would he have even told them? Would he just wandered off one day?
Project.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Would he tell them? Would he wander off? Would he...
I think because his family was important enough for him to seek revenge, he would tell them.
Yeah.
Well, he could also be
has
embarrassed,
There is that.
like the honor of a monk sort of thing.
The other advantage he has is that
Your
the
decision.
monks or the church had already told them that they would protect his family regardless.
Yeah, but there's a difference between you know, the
Depending on the church.
protection we can provide in the city, which is obviously not much because his character left the church because there was that lack of protection. Or is it like, you know, we'll...
Not necessarily lack of protection for his family, but in the general
Yeah, but they're
slow
part of,
decay. Yeah,
they're
yeah.
part of that society.
Yeah. It would have been more the slow burn of just people getting away with things over and over and over, these small things being overlooked. Oh, it's not important enough.
Kind of like anywhere where there's a cop, some law enforcement who becomes an anti-hero
Okay.
because bureaucracy completely stops them from helping.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah.
So like every single Bruce Willis movie ever, basically? Your character's Bruce Willis?
The Punisher, but less malicious.
Yeah.
Like,
And the Mel Gibson series.
yeah.
Lethal Weapon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Payback.
Well, not really. He wasn't a cop.
No, I know.
So they just owed him money.
That was a good movie, though.
Just like, I just want my $10,000. And they're like, he wants $100,000. No, it's just $10,000.
I remember that, yeah.
That was really, and they're like, what? No, that's dumb. Why would you do all this for just $10,000?
Here's the one that says it's the principle, not the money.
Yeah,
it's like,
meant it.
I don't even care if it's adjusted for inflation. Just give me the $10,000. Right?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, so you left your family and you began wandering a la David Carradine, Kung Fu style.
Yeah,
pretty
really,
much,
yeah.
right?
It is, yeah. I wasn't even thinking of that, but that is what it
really,
amounts
that's
to.
not where you went? Because
No, I didn't think David Carradine at all.
First thing I thought of when you started talking about your character, I was like, it's like Kung Fu, basically.
That's
You're gonna
funny.
be like a wandering monk going around and solving problems with your Kung Fu.
Maybe it's just so rooted in there. Like,
Yeah.
Kung Fu, I loved Kung Fu The Legend Returns, or Legend Continues.
Yeah.
I never did see the original.
The original series is a lot better.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I enjoyed that second series, so I
It was
bet
pretty fun.
I bet I'd enjoy the first one, too.
Yeah. Well, the first one was it was better. It was more original. Nothing like that had been done before.
Ever. Yeah, that was a breakthrough. To have an Asian man not portrayed
Yeah.
in a stereotypical negative
Yeah,
light. It was
exactly.
a great
And
thing.
It also introduced all this philosophy to that generation too. Like the kids in the 70s,
Yeah.
who would watch that.
It's sad that they didn't actually use an Asian man, but
Well, isn't he like half
I
Chinese?
don't remember, honestly. But
He's like Italian.
when Bruce Lee was your first line and you don't go with him, like,
Then you're dumb.
come on.
But
I mean, I love David Carradine,
That was
but
before Bruce Lee broke out, though.
it was kind of he was major in China, hadn't really made it huge over here, but
Yeah.
he was starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's off subject.
Yeah.
Talking about
You're talking about monks, and you're talking about Bruce Lee, man.
So you're more a David Carradine than a Bruce Lee guy. Okay, that's cool. You get like a staff, right? A bow
Yeah.
staff, and you're like,
Yeah. Making awesome noises.
cool. Do you do like Crane style, or is that just too racist?
Too typical.
Attack! Crane never attacks with the wings, only with the feet.
That's right.
Okay, so we're at the point where you are now in your life. You're wandering around looking for purpose, looking to dispense justice the only way that you know how. So let's talk about important people that you left behind, other than your wife and daughter. Now, did you have anyone, like maybe a friend or a rival that you went to in your monk school, whatever that is, or like a certain teacher that you knew who was influential in your
That is a good question.
career, a master? Like, I literally imagine
Excuse
like
me.
David Carradine's your master.
Nice.
Like, he's just like
That's
literally David Carradine is like your character is like master, and he taught you kung fu.
I think he would have liked his sensei, whoever he was.
Yeah.
But
And maybe he was like the guy. He was like, yeah, back in my day, we used to go around and dispense justice in the Old West, right? Because that's what kung
that's
fu
good
is about,
stuff.
right?
It was.
And he told you
yeah.
all these stories, and then maybe like the bureaucracy. You were like, this isn't what my master told me about at all, right? So,
I like that.
yeah,
that.
that's good.
And I would have thought,
You
okay,
can-
so
you have
that
permission to use that.
character, let's take that character.
Okay,
he
so-
would have been an older Kenku. I don't think he would have been the leader of the Kenku. Or should this guy be separate?
I think this guy would be your
No.
master when
This would
you
be- okay.
joined the church who taught you kung fu. something like that. And he's like, back in my day, we used to go out and beat up bandits all the time, sort of thing. Now,
I like the idea that he's not the super hardcore religious part of the sect, that he's kind of like the fist of the sect, and he's more colorful than maybe the rest, and maybe that's why my character liked him, because he was more gregarious and had these stories.
Like a million stories.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
some
was
interesting quotes
actively
you can
doing
use.
something about things.
Yeah, he's talking about actually going out and fixing things, not just waiting for things to be
But that's
fixed.
also back in the day, too, right?
This was older times for whoever this person is. This guy is probably in his 60s.
Well, maybe he's even like
Maybe.
an elf. Maybe this is
Ooh,
like
that would be
100 years
cool.
ago, right?
A monk elf who's like a couple hundred years old or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
That would be nice.
If you want to be interesting, go dwarf. 'Cause back in my day, we used to go out and beat bandits to death with our fists.
That's too perfect. That's
No,
too.
are
I
you
love
sure?
it. I love it.
Like, why would they even accept this
Oh
guy?
my God.
Okay, so a dwarven monk.
That's exactly why they accept him. He's the fist, man. We send him out when we need to speed now.
What's his name?
Okay, dwarf names. So they typically have names involving
I'll give him like a kung fu name,
like earth, metal,
like
kung fu.
the Molten Iron Fist, something like that. Iron Fist. Name him after like a kung fu style. That would be good.
Name it after a kung fu
Yeah,
style.
alright.
Or something. Yeah.
Ferris Fifth?
Hammer Fist. Hammer Fist.
Hammer fist? No, no. A little too,
Why?
close to
a
Orky.
little too on.
A little too close to Orky.
What? No.
Ferris
That's
Fist.
like Hammer Fist. Hammerfall.
Both you guys. Oh.
That's the
Okay,
name
okay.
of like the big dwarf town in Forgotten Realms. Hammerfall.
Okay, wait, Hammer fell.
Hammerfell? Oh yeah, because it fell already. I get it. It's not.
It
going
already
to fall.
happened, man.
They were like, we should call it Hammerfall. It's like, no, that sounds bad. That sounds like the hammer is going to fall.
Right
How
on
about hammer
us.
fell?
Okay.
Hammer. If you put hammer in front of anything, it's a dwarven name.
Pretty much.
That's just simple
That's just how
fantasy
it goes.
logic. Gold hammer gold.
Or Smith that wants to do business with dwarves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Stonehand.
Stonehand?
That would have been his last name, I guess.
Gungnir Stonehand?
No, Gunner. Jeez. Why don't we just call him Fafnir while we're at it?
Oh, the worst.
Okay,
Grundig?
that sounds familiar for some reason, and I know I should know why. I kind of...
Escaping me.
5 seconds. 5.
I like Grundy.
4. Grundy.
Like, maybe his name is Grundig and he goes Grundy.
Grundy, what's his last name?
Stonehand.
Stonehand?
Stonehand.
Oh, like open hand.
He was a, before he became a monk, he was a stoneworker.
Oh, okay.
It's got nothing to do with me martial arts.
Yeah, if it was martial arts, obviously his name would be Stone Fist,
That's right.
not Stone Hand.
That's right.
Not if you practice an open hand style.
Well, then it would
Ah.
be Palm.
Stone palm.
Yeah. Right?
That just sounds
Maybe.
wrong.
Yeah.
Stone palm.
Sounds abrasive.
That's what happens when dwarves masturbate too much.
Yeah.
It's like callous.
That was where
So
it was
it's like,
going.
My hands! I'm gonna learn martial arts. He's just like
Oh my
smashing
god.
bricks and rocks with his hands.
Oh. Okay, let's see. What am I? Only thing I'm missing: features and traits. What is the level 1 again? That is.
Maybe his training was also to work in a quarry without tools.
Yeah.
Okay, was there someone that you hated that you were with?
Somebody that I hated.
A rival, a different master, maybe like the leader of the sect, maybe some
The leader of the diplomatic portion of the sect.
self-righteous paladin,
There would have been
cleric
someone who
refused to
introduced-
heal you when you were beat up.
a bishop or cleric in the office who was just
Someone
the
who
coldest.
pushes red tape before
Yeah.
what the church stands
Yeah,
for.
like just the coldest, most bureaucratic guy you can think of.
What's his name?
Armin.
Armin? Because he's not arming people.
Terrible. I love it.
Anti-Armin.
Anti-Armin.
Anti-Armin. Bishop.
Right?
Armin.
Cat's his name.
Master of red tape.
Master of red tape, right? That could be what we call him as a joke behind his back.
Red.
You'd
tape.
probably call him Pessimal of the red tape.
Oh man,
the master of the red tape style.
red tape style. Yeah.
Pessimum means completely without worth or value.
Nice.
Oh wow. Interesting.
And maybe a lot of those insults actually came from your master, Grundy Stonehand.
Oh, he would have been filled with colorful insults, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Maybe you learned
Oh,
a
he's a
little
dwarf.
Dwarvish from him.
Yeah.
Now, did he have an accent?
I would assume that he would have been speaking in his own tongue because he doesn't necessarily have to speak. I mean, I would respond to common, but what he says is less important to me than what he does or what I can mimic, right?
Yeah.
So
Now, keeping in mind, these are influential people in your lives, right? So, the interesting thing about Kenku is they don't have a voice, essentially. They can only mimic sounds that they've heard. They can't create new sounds. So anything that Neil's character says is a quote. Literally a quote or a sound that he has heard.
or as far as I can tell, some things could be reconstructed into sentences, but each individual part of the sentence would sound completely different.
Yeah.
It'd be really
would
jarring.
Like if you were taking quoted words from two people, it would be in two different accents.
Reminds me of Bumblebee talking by turning the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just about to say a lot
Yeah,
like
like
Bumblebee, if it was even a little more messy. Like
Those Austin
more
Power
chopped up.
montages, right? Where
Yeah.
they flip the channels.
It
A
looks
giant-
like a giant hot dog, just a hot dog.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Now, is there anyone else?
No, because outside of a flock, he would have been pretty solitary. Flocks
Okay.
are generally fairly social, and that's the common grouping for them, but because he was already outside of that, he wasn't...
Okay. Now, you are going to be able to draw from a lot of different sources because your character was a messenger. So you're going to have a fairly large repertoire of literally words to use for your character. So that should be helpful.
The interesting part is going to be coming up with some to pull out once in a while, just for fun, like just
Yeah.
come up with a phrase the character might have heard.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun to come up with.
Okay. Are you ready?
I believe as much. It's just the ideals traits section, and I was looking over martial arts again. Unarmed strike is a bonus. Yeah. Nunchaku. What?
Yeah, that's just like a club. Right?
Yep.
They're just like, use a club. It'll be fine.
Right, like basically, yeah, they consider that's a club. The comma, it's just a sickle.
Clubs is for dancing.
Ah,
No,
maybe.
that's
Maybe.
like the best joke ever.
Clubs
Basically.
is dancing. Alright, second level is where I get most of
A
my...
quarterstaff. Where's the other 3/4?
I cut it off. It's lying on the floor. Alright, I do need a moment to get some air and cool down.
Okay,
Before we
we
get rolling.
take a short break, then 5 minutes. All right, hurry up.